Support for Fameless is brought to you by Ready Quick Dry Cleaners. Well, this sucks. You're watching Fameless, a podcast for the rest of us, where we examine the curious human desire for fame. We'll explore the alleyways and byways of artistic expression as we search for the avenues of fame, and talk with the fameless people we meet about what fuels their desire for it. For the only people who know more about what it takes to make it in this world than those who made it are those who didn't. So come along with us on our journey down the bumpy road to fame, where we'll discover the only real difference between the famous and the fameless is one right turn. Hello, I'm Guy Holling, and welcome to Fameless, a podcast for the rest of us. Cinema is our youngest form of storytelling. In its short history, filmmakers have told countless mesmerizing stories and illustrated them with stunning visual imagery, elevating our very existence to that of an ethereal one. If cinema is our youngest form of storytelling, then my guests today are some of its youngest storytellers, practitioners dedicated to preserving, upholding, and applying the defining principles we have all come to know as cinema, while infusing it with their own brand of genius that will one day certainly induct them into the ranks of remarkable filmmakers who, because of their determination, tenacity, creativity, and brilliance, will have their stories told for generations to come. And we will listen and watch in amazement as the validation of our lives unfolds before us. Here's a small sample of that work, including scenes from their upcoming feature film, Angels of Lake Michigan. Their first, currently in post-production, a film that will go down as the first of many in their amazing cinematic adventure. Oh my gosh, you guys, welcome to Fameless, a podcast for the rest of us. I'm so glad you can make it. This is really exciting. Yeah, so why do I feel like I'm 10 feet lower than you guys. Shouldn't the host be above the guests? This actually feels kind of cool. It feels really, it feels really cool because you guys deserve to be up there. Did you just?
No, that was the chair.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure. If not, it was Emma.
All right, so just to be aware, these are some 2D chairs. So if you hear some things and I can't clean it up in post. What did you say? What's your favorite? What is his favorite saying?
Let's fix it in post.
If I can't fix the tooting in post. You guys, I'm so glad you're here.
Great to be here.
In the short time I've known you, I'm telling you, you are on my mind every day. You're an inspiration. You're a joy to hang out with. You remind me of everything I love about this industry. I don't want to call it an industry. About this
community.
Yeah, because an industry makes me think of AI, Disney, and Wall Street, who have no business in the film business. Because when it's all about money and numbers, we lose everything. And I feel like we need a movement akin to New Hollywood Era. And honestly, you guys, when I got your script, and it wasn't a horror film that you were shooting in your parents' basement, I'm like, oh my God, who are these kids? No disrespect to the genre, no disrespect to any kids out there doing horror films by any means. Keep making films, I don't care what they keep making films. But it was really refreshing. And when you welcomed me in and gave me an opportunity to reconnect with something that I love so damn much, like you know, because you're in it. I know you know. And it was such an honor and such a privilege, and I do belong below you guys. I do.
That means so much.
That means so much.
And if you guys feel like we all should be at the same height, I can get anybody got a phone book? A phone book? You guys even know what a phone book is?
Yeah.
We're still connected.
We're not that young.
They asked me if I saw a kitty cat video the other day, and I said no. So that disconnected us. The wee wee cat. Tell us about it.
Dude, I love the wee wee cat.
So you're students at UWM, juniors?
Yes.
All juniors? Yep. So let's go one at a time. First of all, let's start with Brett. I don't think I introduced them specifically. So Brett here on the end. Brett, in my time on this planet, 57 years, I have not known anyone, let alone someone of your age, who has so much knowledge of the technical side of this medium and can use it creatively and artistically. The two don't always work together, right? You got a creative and you got a tech, right? And you understand both. And what you do with the camera is beautiful. And I remember when we shot a little scene. So they're working on a feature film. It's called Angels of Lake Michigan. And it's a film that they welcomed me in on and gave me a role in and revived my love for this community, for this art form. And the day I showed up, they looked at me and they said, promise, we will never make you look bad. Thank you. It was beautiful. And your words were awesome, and your direction is awesome, and just the confidence that you give to somebody, it's really awesome. The fact that you guys know how to do that for actors, for talent, for crew, at your age, and in the time you've done things, is years beyond your age.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah. So Brett, I just love that about you. And then Emma. I don't think you guys tell me if I'm wrong, you're friends. You've known each other way longer than I have. I feel like you have this ability through your demeanor, through your personality, through your pleasantries, through your attitude, to just make everybody feel amazing, at ease, calm, relaxed, again, confident. And if you don't have confidence on the talent side of things, everything's gonna suck. So thank you for that.
I try.
And then Will. So anyway, Brett. Will, the stories you're writing at your age, again, I think Oliver Stone said that before you can pretend to create a life on film, you have to get a life. And in your short time on this planet, I think you've gotten a life and you can convey that perception and that understanding through your dialogue. So keep doing it. And again, the directing on your side is amazing. I've been around this for a really long time, 40 years, and never have I worked with, how old?
21.
21-year-old kids
He's
who
old.
have, who have the expertise in managing, directing, communicating, organizing so fluidly. So fluidly. Come on, you guys took on a feature film. Do you even realize what that is? Do people at home realize what that is?
I still don't think I realize what that is.
No.
It's genius. And you have it. So please, don't give up. Ever. And I wrote this as our closing, and I feel like I want to say it now. And even if years from now you find yourself making films of your kids and someday grandkids, and that's all you ever do, it's still awesome. Because you're telling stories. And the best way to validate your life is to tell your story. And what do we do in cinema? We tell stories. So thank you for telling stories. Thank you for validating my life. Thank you for validating other people's lives. Thank you for feeling valid yourself so that you make others feel valid. It's so brilliant. I can't say it enough. Have I said it enough so you can talk now?
Yeah,
One
Brett,
more
you go
time
first.
for
Yeah, one more time around, yes. So what else? What else is it? What is your inspiration? What is your background? Tell me what got you into film.
Oh, geez. I think when I was like 8 or 9, I wanted to be a superhero. And
I love it.
and so
A particular one, or would you just make
no, just
up
my
your
own
Nice.
make-believe.
Excellent.
Made up
Okay.
my own powers, my own name.
I'm just gonna ask. So what were your powers? Tell us.
I don't remember at the time. Heat vision was like my favorite.
So you could burn through things.
Yeah, being able to fly was a big one.
What was your name?
Flying.
I don't remember.
You can't just like, yeah, I had a name. Oh wait, I don't remember it.
If you have a suggestion for me,
Yeah,
I'll
well,
definitely
yes.
take it.
We'll
But
come up with something.
and I'll write a character later in another movie.
Yes.
but-
Okay. Good.
I remember writing my own stories where I was a superhero, and it got me into just writing stories. And then sooner or later, I started writing actual screenplays.
And how old?
12.
My lord. Writing at 12. Wow. I think I was drawing pictures.
I was never good at drawing, which is why I think I went to typing.
Communicating through. Yes. Good.
Yeah.
Good. That's so great. Emma.
I feel like I came in late because
That's okay. Yes.
Like
yes.
I always liked the arts. I was a dancer for 15, 16 years.
Expression.
Yeah, and then I just fell in love with photography and that, and then film and photography kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stepped up my game for sure in the last year with the help of these guys. So
Nice. Nice.
feeling
Well,
more confident.
it's such a perfect compliment. It really is. I know they sort of talked about what to wear and matched. They left you out, so I hope you don't feel left out ever.
No,
No fist bump.
last night I was like, oh, it's so hard.
Brett. Here we go. Let's get everybody. Everybody. Hold on. Wait, I'm feeling some superhero power. What is it?
What's the name?
What?
Pick it!
That's it.
Pick it.
The
Pick it, man.
Pickets.
The Pick it man.
Yes. So that's awesome. And coming in late, coming in early, you're here. Thank goodness. Yeah. And Brett.
Mine was a lot more similar to Will's. I would think I was around the same age. I didn't get into writing right away, but I just got it straight into filming. I remember my phone at the time came out with that feature where you could pause a recording.
Yeah.
And I had no idea how to edit, so I decided I'm just going to edit while I'm shooting. And so I put my phone up and I would, hit record, and I had my friend, and it was some stupid idea. I found the clip a little bit ago, and he's supposed to sneak up on me with like a Nerf gun and like murder me, like mafia style.
Yeah.
And so I was like cutting around it while I was recording. It was terrible, but I got to the point where my love for the technical side of things grew enough I then got into photography, and at the same time I was doing that, I was doing a lot of like IT stuff as well, like building computers and whatnot, and then those kind of two things combined into cinematography, which now is one of the things that I do, and directing and just the whole creative process. I never was writing that young. I think I tried to write a book when I was in middle school, and it never really turned out because I was writing it much more like a movie than a book, and so that's kind of where the turning point happened, and I decided I really do love making movies, and this is an actual career path I could take. So
Good. Keep believing in that, for sure. just listening to you guys, it's amazing, because I set up this whole little interview talking about you and the technical side, and you just having this finesse and this grace, and you writing. And that's exactly where you guys are. What a complimentary group of filmmakers. I hope you guys stay together and keep doing things and keep putting, one foot in front of the other. I wish I could tell you what it takes to make it. And I don't mean to become famous in this, but to be able to work, and to be able to do this, something you love so much, right? And how important it all is to us. I wish I had some wisdom, but all I can tell you is just don't give up. Don't give up, right? That would be a travesty. No matter what happens along the way, no matter what comes in, the back door when you're not ready, and just stay after it and stay committed to it and keep producing the work you're producing. Yeah, so great. So what else? UWM, we talked about UWM. We have a mutual acquaintance at UWM, which it would be a shame not to mention. Can we say his name, or is he living in anonymity?
I don't think he'll mind.
He knows we're here.
He's not living in anonymity right now, is there? Okay.
No.
Having
He
sordid past or anything like that?
Actually, this is something I wanted to ask you about while we're talking, is what was Brian like back when you first started working with him?
A lot like you guys. All wrapped up in one. All wrapped up in one. And just the creativity, the passion, the drive, the commitment. I mean, he's still going at it. That takes something. It takes something really special. And I see it in you guys. I saw it in Brian. I will still see it in Brian. And I just think that that's so incredibly awesome. So yeah, I would say I saw all three of those. Although on the technical side, there was one funny moment that I'll share, which I've talked with Brian about, and we were shooting one of his early films, had a role in it, and we were out on Brady Street, and the sound recordist was hiding behind a parked car. And Brian's across the street down the corner, if I remember, and he's shooting, and this other actor and I are running through the scene, and I think we're eating pizza. And of all the people in all the shops on Brady Street, the one person who comes out of one of the storefronts gets in the car that our sound recordist is hiding behind and drives off. So I don't know if I'm going to be off camera, but this was the sound recordist, okay? So Brian's across shooting. It's so great. I still see it all the time. And he's hiding behind this car, and he's like doing stuff, and we're acting right over there, and Brian's over there. And the car starts up, and you see him just kind of panic a little bit, and he looks around. He doesn't know what to do, but the car is still there, so he's not too worried. And all of a sudden, the car pulls away, and he is all by himself in the road with his big, it was a different world then, with his equipment. And he looks over at Brian, and he just goes like this. And he kind of like he's going to hide in the middle of the road. And it was just one of my favorite things. I don't know if I'm remembering that correctly, but I sure would love to have that outtake. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the wonderful things that happen along the way. We were filming some of the cold open here yesterday, and it took us 2 hours to film what's going to be a 30-second bit. So in the time it takes for us to recreate a life, but the process of doing that, it slows everything down in life. And it puts us at this place where we can just stop and look around and nitpick and get at every little nook and cranny of what makes up the minuscule moments of a day, of a life, of a minute. And I love it, because you can control every aspect. Not that I'm a control freak, but you can manipulate and
I think all three of us are.
You're all control freaks?
All three of us are.
To be a director, oh yeah.
We collaborate really well, but we're all, in our own ways, control freaks.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you for never making me feel that. I did see it in your eyes a couple of times.
Mine?
I'm kidding. No. Yeah, it must have been that heat vision you talked about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is your superpower coming out?
Yep.
So tell us about Angels of Lake Michigan, your first feature film. How incredible.
Yeah. I don't know. The story came about, I think it was like, midnight, 1 in the morning.
Yeah, 1 a.m. while I was out for a walk.
We knew that we wanted to make something, and then we were like, ideas, but you can't come up with an idea if you're thinking of an idea. So we're literally like laying on the living room floor trying to figure something out. And I always tend to go dark with my personal films. It's just like easier for me to come up with the story, I guess.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It came across, and then we were just building ideas off each other, bouncing back and forth, brainstorming, and it kind of just like came to be through time.
Yeah. And now what's exciting for me is I have not seen or read the entire script. And even some of the scenes that we shot, certain things were kept from me. And years ago, I would have been like, you can't do that to the actor. The actor must know. Audience doesn't have to know, but the actor must know. No, you don't need to know, because we don't know anything in life until it happened. So it was kind of cool. It was liberating. And it wasn't at all, disruptive to the process, whatever that even is, So I think it's going to be really cool when this comes to fruition to see the story, because I really know almost nothing about the story.
And
which is really cool.
that was something we learned from Brian. Where
Really?
Brian was like, "Your
That a
act-
boy.
Brian.
Screw the damn talent. They're so insignificant to this process. Ugh.
I mean, I think it was like, because we all had him for directing last semester, and I think it was like within the first month of class, he stood in front of the class and was like, when you are directing an actor, they do not need to know everything. They just need to know what their character knows, and not what happens to them later on in the script, just what happens early on and what they need to do now. That's all they need to know.
Yeah.
And it will make for a better performance.
Yeah. And guess who does need to know it? And you do know it, because you're there every step of the way.
Yes.
You know it better than the back of the hand that made it, right? Which is like true of any art form. And you know everything, and you can just weave that little thread through, and it's so great. Even that, 21 years old. You've got the wisdom and the know-how of people I've, known for years, and just still, keep cultivating it. Keep loving it, and please keep taking advantage of me in any way you possibly can. So what are your plans after college, you guys? I mean, this is not to imply that you're not already completely legitimate human beings. It's like you don't have to wait until you're done with high school and college and have a job and a house and a family before you're a legitimate human being, right? You're legitimate now, capable of so much, and you're proving that. So when I ask, what are your plans after college? I guess I'm just going to lay it out there. What are your plans after college, you guys?
Well, we already have the next feature in the works. So
Nice. So smooth sailing. It's a smooth transition. Just keep doing what you're doing. Absolutely. Why would you not?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so great.
Currently working on the script. We've got the idea down. We're excited about it. There's probably going to be room for you again.
Yay.
So look forward to that.
I'm still waiting for a shirtless scene, by the way, too. Before I'm like 80 years old and I look like the guy in Jaws who's interrupting the sheriff on the beach, and he's got these boobs, for lack of a better term, hanging down to the dresser disease, and your chest falls into your drawers. Yeah, so if you can write something like that in there, I'll keep working on my physique. It'll give me an excuse.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Anyway, not really. So if you can just work something like that in, that'd be really awesome.
We'll try to make you look good before.
How do you? My goodness. Speaking of making people look good, what is the trick? What is your formula?
The equipment really helps, but it's a lot of practice, especially all my history and photography. I feel like has really given me an edge on just knowing what looks good to the human eye. I usually just base it off of my own personal preference, and so luckily my preferences are just basic enough for everybody.
Right. It is just beautiful, and I'm really, again, super honored to be part of it. So, you guys, it's been an honor hanging out with you. working with you, talking with you. I can't tell you enough. And I hope I have made that clear. So bless your hearts. Keep working hard. Stay after it. And whatever you do, take me with you.
Of course.
I'll always be here. Thank you for being here. It really means a lot.
Of course, thank you so much.
Cool. And thank you for tuning into Fameless, a podcast for the rest of us. Join us again next time when our guest will most likely be fameless, so you don't know him anyway. Until then, stay fameless. See you in the movie theater. Thank you for being here. Oh, son of a bitch. That's what I said to my banana yesterday when I couldn't open it.
Yeah, bananas can be a bitch sometimes.
That's why you do the flick method.
They're
Flick
evolving.
method. You
They're
just
evolving.
They are. Bananas are evolving, and they.
hold the top and you just flick it and it opens up. That's how I put them.
Go experiment right now with your banana.
They are seriously becoming like childproof.
Because if you go like this, it won't come off. So I flick it and then it works.
I'm not. You're gonna have to show me.
Okay.
You show me.
As
Okay.
long as someone else other than me eats the banana.
Too funny.